Yeah. And when we talk about reinvention, I'm not talking about, I'm just going to go take a piano class now. That's not it. Or I'm talking about a full reinvention of self. Like, can you... Welcome to Mama's Playground. This is Monica.
And this is Darlene.
Darlene, it is I was going to say 2004. It is 20... No, I went back.
2024.
It is 2024.
I know, it's been 2024 for the past month. It's already February. Yeah. But it is our first time recording again. And this is officially the start of our second season.
We have been on a little hiatus, but a well-due hiatus, right?
Yeah.
We needed to get away for a little bit.
Yes.
Kind of reinvent the wheel a little bit.
Yeah, it was just a lot going on. You know, it was like the holidays and then everybody was sick and then January starts and you're trying, to catch up with everything. And yeah, it was just like a breather. And also, it's not that easy finding content on a weekly basis for you guys. So yeah, we just needed like a breather. And here we are. And it's so exciting. I missed it. I miss you. I miss being here. Blabbing.
Yeah, this was our therapy hour. I haven't had therapy hour for like about a month or so. So it's like, I needed this. So if you see us or you hear us talking a lot more than usual, I don't know if that's possible, but if we are talking a little, it's just because we have to let it all out,
Could you believe, I had a dream the other day. This is crazy. And it was, I remember it was somebody famous. I can't remember who, but that somebody that I was like, oh, wow. They listened to our podcast and it was a person saying it was 45 minutes long and it was too long. And I woke up and was like, okay, we got to keep it short. But yeah.
Yeah, we're going to keep it short.
Let's do it.
30 minutes or less, okay?
Yeah, most of the people probably listen to us like in the car. And at least here in Florida, everything could be like 45 minutes. But yeah, we'll be with you like halfway.
Definitely. So wait, okay, so what are we talking about today?
Today, we are going to be talking about reinventing ourselves. A lot of people, did you have any New Year's resolution you've been working in?
I said to myself, no New Year's resolutions, because I feel like, we talked about that, and I'm not going to go into elaborate about that. But basically, I didn't want to do New Year's resolutions. I was like, you know what? I will start whenever I want to start something.
Yeah,
and
you had said you wanted to start in December.
Yeah. And I was like, and I did, which was more so for me was just, starting the workout routine and being faithful to it, but that was it.
And how's that going?
It's going, it's busy schedule. I'm trying
to read your eyes.
I'm trying like at least once a week, but yes, I'm doing my stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of people, they start the year, they have like the dry January, no alcohol, which by the way,
you're doing?
I haven't had, I do drink. I like wine and my Prosecco. I haven't had a drink or anything alcohol in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks.
Yay.
And so I'm going to try to do it for a couple of months and I feel great. I do get like non-alcoholic beer because I do like the taste of beer.
Yeah.
So I'll have like one here and there, but yeah, I feel great. So my dry January is going to extend probably to May, something like that.
Wow. Let's see.
Let's see. And it's part of, trying to be healthier, lose some weight. Remember, try to get that bikini body by the summer. That's my thing.
Yes.
So let's see. But yeah, a lot of people, also take this time or this past month, January, kind of, trying to figure out what to do with their life. A lot of changes, a lot of people change careers. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that, about how different ages, you don't have to be in your 20s to choose what you're going to do for the rest of your life. Like at different times in life, things change. Divorce happens, you move out of town and you have to adapt to different situations where you have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
And it could happen at any age.
And definitely reinventing yourself. Okay. I want to put a little scenario out there, and it was something that I read. So for instance, just put the scenario that you're in your 20s, we have a lot of expectations. People have expectations. You start setting your career. You want to get married. You picture your life with kids. Let's just say you were able to do all those things, right? You accomplished all the goals that you wanted to and that you set yourself out for in your 20s. And now you hit your 40s. And everything that you said that you wanted, right? Everything that you said you wanted, you had. And now you realize that it's maybe not what you wanted. Yeah. Now you're feeling stuck in your life. Yeah. Maybe you're in a marriage that you feel that, you've been giving it your all, but there's something just not there,
Or you're both changed. And what, you still love each other, but it's like,
there's something
change. Like people change, and the same thing happens if you're with somebody that is going through certain changes and it doesn't go with you, or you don't, I don't know, like people change, tastes change.
But in this theory of what we were talking about, the reinvention, it's basically kind of like when you feel stuck, right? You're looking at your life, you accomplished A, B, and C, and now you have all these things. Now you've gotten older in life, you're wiser. You realize how things are, because one thing is what you think things are, and another thing is how really things are, right?
When reality
hits. No, and you start to get, you become wiser and everything. And now you're feeling stuck.
Yeah.
And you're wondering, like, what's going on with me? You're irritable. You wake up in the mornings, you're mad.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Actually, let's play this. Let's play this. If you're listening to us, let's both also do it. These are 5 signs that you need, to reinvent yourself, that you're ready for that. So think about it. Number 1, do you find yourself like daydreaming? Like, I'd rather be doing this, or I'm not talking about, I want to be at the beach in Jamaica having a piña colada. Everybody wants that, but like daydreaming as far as
every day daydreaming.
I would have done this if I could do this. Okay, that's one. Next one, irritable. You were
irritable. Yeah, you wake up, and it's true, and it happens. Like you wake up every morning, you have the same routine, which obviously we all have to have some sort of a routine in life to get things done. But you wake up in the morning, and every day you're like, shit. Like I gotta go to this endless job, or like, oh my God, I'm so like miserable. I don't feel, I'm not feeling satisfied. I'm not happy. And it's a constant thing where you're taking out that irritability on your kids now. People at work feel it. I'm not saying one day, I'm talking about on a constant.
Yeah. Because we all go through that.
Correct.
There's always a day where we're like, you don't want to do anything. Especially women, when that time of the month comes, it happens. We're talking more about if it's on a daily basis and it keeps getting worse, and then you're in a bad mood and you take it on your kids or your husband, and he hasn't done anything, but it's something so internal.
Yeah.
Dissatisfaction, that's another sign. If you find yourself to be like dissatisfied with your life.
Everything.
Envy. You go on Instagram or whatever, and again, never believe everything you see on social media, but you go there and you see what other people are doing, and you start feeling a little bit like envious, good or bad,
down.
And it's like, I'm 40 whatever, and I wish I was doing this. And also, if you're like seeking inspiration, in life, those are signs that you need to reinvent yourself.
Yeah, that maybe what you need is to change something or do something that fulfills you, or reinvent altogether. Yeah. And when we talk about reinvention, I'm not talking about, I'm just going to go take a piano class now. That's not it. Or I'm talking about a full reinvention of self. Like, can you reinvent yourselves in your 40s and your 50s? Can you be somebody completely, and I'm not saying at the core, I'm talking about just in maybe your daily life, as to career, as to maybe friendships, as to spouses, like, evolving. And I think that's what it is. It's basically coming out of that, rut that you've been in for so long and changing the things around you. Can you reinvent yourself?
Yeah. And friendships, that's another thing. Sometimes there's a friend that, I don't know, drains you, their energy. And it's like, this person, I'm just going to keep them like at an arm's length distance, because she's not, or he is not, helping me in. A lot of people can bring you down without knowing. And it's not like you're going to give them your back and not help them in whatever they're going through. But I don't know, like, it happens with any type of relationship. You change, you want to reinvent the relationships, be love, friendships, and also emptiness. A lot of people, when their kids go off to college, it's the same thing. It's like, okay, I'm here.
What do I do?
What do I do now?
Who am I?
Exactly.
Who am I? Now that I don't have the kids, I'm no longer, on a constant with the kids. Who am I? What do I want? Maybe you start seeing things differently in the sense of, again, whatever your situation is with a relationship, maybe you start seeing things as like, I don't know, maybe you want to meet new people, or maybe your marriage is not for you. You know what I mean? If you've attempted to fix things over and over again, can you take big steps? And I want to say something. I feel that a lot of people at the core don't realize that they need to reinvent. I guess that's the word, because
they're comfortable.
They're comfortable, but they just don't know it. I think they're just going through life's moments, just going on, with their daily, like
and Groundhog Day.
And they also think, if I reinvent, let's just say you've been a police officer your whole freaking life, and now you're waking up every morning going, I really don't want to do this anymore. I'm 50 something years old. I don't want to be a police officer anymore. Like, I want to go sell stocks somewhere, but you don't do it because you're scared of what everybody around is going to think with that change, or what everybody's going to say if you take that big step. So I think it also comes down to being true to yourself.
Yeah, and not being scared of what other people are going to say. You're the only one that's living your life.
Absolutely.
Nobody's...
It's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, of course. But you mentioned something about not the piano lessons. It's not part of it, but I differ in the sense of, I have a friend who recently joined a choir.
Yeah.
And she just started a new job. She has 2 little girls. And when she told me that, I was like, oh my God, that's great. And not only that, she just finished taking like sculpting classes. So for Christmas, she gave like her friends like little sculptures that she made. And we were talking about that. It's like, that's so great, because we spend money paying for the kids' baseball, karate,
everything,
art classes, and this and that. And what about, and it's something that I actually, this year, I want to find something. I even thought, should I go take dance lessons? Not to become like a dancer, but to do something that I really love, that I used to do back in the day. And then just, hey, let's go take dance. If you're in a relationship and you both want to reinvent yourself, like go take some ballroom classes. It will help.
I definitely think that is part of it. Like when I think of reinvention, I think of reinvention as like a complete, like when they talk about reinventing, it's like a completely different person. But obviously at the core, you're still who you are, but everything changes. You know what I mean? Like maybe you need to revamp your life. Maybe you need to move and go somewhere else. Maybe you need to change that relationship. Maybe you need to find that hobby, but maybe it's a whole package altogether, And obviously it's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen overnight. Yeah. It's a step-by-step process. But I feel like those things can get us unstuck. When you start trying the different things, when you start seeing things in a different way, when you start taking leaps of faith, let's say, into something that, you're scared to do.
Yes.
And then let's go back to it, because of age. Because we think in our 40s, 50s, we can't reinvent.
Yeah, we can't do it. We don't have time. We don't have the money to do that. We don't it's so many excuses, but it's a matter of just, I don't know, like surrounding also yourself with people that will motivate you. Not somebody that's going to be like, what? You're going to take dance classes right now in your 40s? Your back is messed up. Like, true story, by the way. No, it's like, you know what? I'm going to do it. And at the end, that helps you.
You want to think I'm crazy? I don't care. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. So here we go again with The Bachelor, The Golden Bachelor. The show's been over, but
Darlene dreams about it all the time because she loves this show.
The new one started recently too. Anyway, but in this one and this show the other day, they were talking about how from that show, all these women in their 60s, now they're like, out there trying to find love. And I watched the whole episode. It was beautiful. He ended up choosing this woman who she was a widow also, and they found each other, and they're like, we're not going to compare the love that we have for each other to, our prior spouses. But it's a different type of love. It's a love that we're going to enjoy whatever time we have left in this planet. And they just got married, and you see them. I do follow them on Instagram, and you see them, and they're like traveling and having dinners, and they're Netflix, and it is so cute because they met in their 70s. But now and now they're gonna have like the golden bachelorette. So it's gonna be like a woman in her 60s, 70s looking for love. And I love that, and I admire that. And I see these women and their energy and their self-confidence, and I'm like, hell yeah.
I think you have to own it, right?
Yes.
You have to own
your
the
wrinkles,
reinvention.
your everything.
Yeah, you have to own it. You can't again, it's easier said than done, but I think when you make these leaps of faith is what I want to say. And you say, you know what, I'm done with doing this. I'm not happy here. Yeah. Whatever that may be, okay? That could be your career, that could be your relationship, that could be your setting, where you live,
Yeah.
You do have the control to say, I'm done. I'm over it. You know what I mean? I'm going to take the leap of faith. I'm going to believe in this new change, and I'm going to see how it goes. And maybe that awakens something inside of you to continue. And maybe that brings that fulfillment that maybe you're lacking in your life somehow, So I do firmly believe like reinventing. I know it's such a fad word. Oh, you're reinventing. You see that everywhere in social media. It's so trendy, but it's true. It's like you are capable of doing that. We all are capable of doing that. And it could be not just us that were a little older, but the people in their 20s. Just
Who are you talking about?
Well,
Speak first. I'm kidding.
But people in their 20s,
yes.
you start in your 20s and you're like, I want to do this. You start on a career path. You have the boyfriend, but then, you get stuck because that happens to all of us. You can say, you know what? I'm 25 now. You know what? I don't want to do law school anymore. I'm going to do this. Obviously you hope to find what you're looking for, not be, scrambling every month with something different.
Yeah.
But don't be afraid to reinvent, right? Like, don't be afraid to take that leap.
Like this page that I always follow, Madres en Cuarentena on Instagram.
Yeah.
I love her. She's so funny. She just posted something. I don't know when. I saw it this morning. And so this woman, she's always doing like these comedy things in Instagram. And it's not even forced. It's basically what we all go through as moms. For example, she put one of like, it was supposed to be like Hawaii Day, the luau day. And I had the outfit and I forgot. So my kid is the only one with the uniform and all the kids are coming because we can't keep up with schools. It's like Hawaii Day, come dress in green.
Oh my God.
Come law enforcement, come as a service worker.
I have that now too.
So anyway, she puts things like that we all as parents can relate to and are hilarious. And so she put something this morning and it's her wearing like different costumes. And she said, well, when I was a little girl, my mom would hide all my costumes because she didn't want me to like do acting and be in the entertainment business. And she said, but now at 41, and she put this flyer, she has a stand-up comedy show. I believe it's in Orlando. I'm probably she's going to be touring because she has fans now everywhere. But she talks about that, about how when she was a little girl, she always wanted to do this. And now at 41
is when she's doing it.
She's going to be up on stage.
And with kids, it's like she took a leap of faith.
Yeah.
I think she came out during pandemic, to be honest with you. And I think everybody's, mind probably started going around. People were probably getting really angsty. And I felt like people during pandemic, the pandemic actually made people, like they put them against the wall. Like, what are you going to do with your life?
Exactly.
What are you going to do? And people actually did it. And I think sometimes we need somebody to put us against the wall and say,
I like that.
Take the leap of faith and either do this that you've been wanting to do your whole freaking life or stay like this. And by the time that you turn 80, you're going to be miserable because you didn't do all the things that you wanted to do.
Let me tell you, that's one of my biggest fears. And it's been one of my biggest fears since I was a little girl. It's getting to an old age where I regret not doing something.
Yeah, you're going to regret more the things you didn't do than the things that you did do.
Yeah, of course. And it's like, it's like I left my home. I went to LA. I was trying to do acting. I got involved working in restaurants like most of the actors do. I spent a lot of my energy went on trying, to pay for rent. I missed out on being like with my grandparents their last, years of life. And And then I ended up back here, in Florida with my family, which I love that decision. I'm so happy we made that decision when we did. But at times I'm like, oh man, what if I would not have left and I would have stayed here? What if? And then I'm like, no, I freaking did it. I went and I'm never, now I think about it, I'm like, I'm never going to regret it. I had a beautiful experiences. I worked, I learned, I made amazing friends, and I lived in a city for 18 years that to this day I love, and Luna was born there.
At the end of the day, we can't do it all. So, I mean, that's so normal to look back and say, well, what if I would have taken this different step? Like, where would I be? But, now if that is the case and you have that opportunity to do that change because it's still in your mind, whatever that can be, you have the opportunity to do that. If you're still breathing and you're alive and you're kicking and you're walking and you're right, you have hands and you could still see, you're still mobile, you have the possibilities of doing that, or making small changes to reinvent that Darlene or reinvent that Monica inside, because we all have wants and things that we want to do. And we just, life takes over.
Life takes over and we stop ourselves.
Absolutely.
With the whole, questioning our talents, questioning our, capabilities of change. Yeah. For example, if you're in an unhappy relationship, obviously that comes, especially if you have kids, with a lot of fear of what's our family's going to say, what our friends are going to say, how is that going to affect the kids? Financially, for those that depend more on the husband or vice versa, like, what am I going to do financially? You have to take that step, and you're probably going to fall. You're probably going to fall hard, really hard. And it's going to affect you in many negative ways. But at the end of the day, you're going to come out of it and be like, holy
hallelujah.
Smokes. Like, yes,
yeah.
all that shit had to happen. Yeah.
How many of those stories do you not hear? People that went through things like living in a car. I think it was, what's the writer's, J.K. Rowling, the one that did Harry Potter.
Yeah.
If I remember reading her story, this is a lady that lived with her daughter. I think she has a daughter. And they lived in a car. They were homeless. Her ideas of Harry Potter came to her in the car. She wrote this book. She wrote the book. She wrote the script. Or it was the script. And then they took it on, and look at how big Harry Potter became. Oh my God. Look, this lady, you know what I mean? She reinvented herself. She came
at a really low
at the trenches.
Point.
She was in the trenches of her life.
Wow.
And she came out on top. And again, it doesn't have to be as big as J.K. Rowling. It could be as simple as, I moved to another country because, you know what, I've been wanting to do this my whole life, and I never did, and I have the opportunity to do that right now. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to meet new people. I'm going to start a new career. I'm going to meet a different person, because maybe I'm divorced. I don't know, whatever your scenario is, there's so much opportunity. Yeah. And I say to myself, I speak to myself when I say this, like, and now I'm going to be 43 years old. This year, 2024, I woke up with something. When I started the year, I said, you know what? I'm a person, if you know me personally, I'm a person that likes to over-explain myself. I'm a talker. So I always feel that I need to over-explain myself to people, that why I do certain things. And I woke up this year saying to myself, I'm not going to do it anymore. Like, I don't need to explain myself to anybody. I'm going to take my decisions and do what I need to do. If I fall, I fall. And if I move forward, I move forward. But it's going to be on me. I don't care. It's not going to come from everybody else giving me advice or telling me what I should be doing when they're not doing the shit that they should be doing in their lives, or not should, or what they want to do. And they're coming to me to tell me what I need to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm moving forward. I said this year there's no bars that are not going to be crossed.
Unless it's affecting somebody in some sort of way.
But I mean, like, I don't need to over explain things to people, that I've always done that because I always want to quedar bien in the things that I'm doing with people in every sense of the way, whether it's work, whether it's a relationship. And I say, why do I have to keep, doing that? Like, I need to take responsibility for my actions. Obviously my actions are not to hurt anybody. It's more for, to prosper in whatever I want to prosper in. But take that risk, do those things. Like, nobody is going to live your life for you. And at the end of the day, I guarantee you something, the people that are older, that are already there, that they see their life has already passed, they're in their 80s and all that. One word of advice I've always been given is, you will not get a second chance. you won't to do these things. When you're 80 years old, all the things you wanted to do, you're not going to get that chance when you find yourself in a bed that you can't get up.
Yeah.
So take that opportunity and reinvent yourself.
It's so, you said that, and it hits close to home. My dad, he turns 80 this year, and we had him in the show last year. We were talking about this, about doing different things at different stages of life, like something that you didn't do in your 20s, 30s. If you want to do it in your 40s, 50s, go for it. So he wrote the book, and just last night, he got picked. So his book is going to be out in one of the main bookstores in Puerto Rico, in Plaza Las Americas, which is actually the biggest mall in the Caribbean. And it's a really important bookstore. And he's going to be there, and there's going to be like a book signing in May. And I am so proud of him. Again, like, he turns 80, and the fact that he's out there now, and we're looking to market his book more. And it's great. Like, I'm so proud of him for doing that.
He wanted to do it. I remember talking to him on the podcast. He wanted to do it from early on, from years prior.
13 years. 10,
and now he's finally doing it.
20 years. He was trying, and it happened now. It happened at 79 that his book was finally published. But yeah, it's a matter of like, and it also gives you like self-esteem, self-confidence when you take that leap of faith and you start like a new life. And self-esteem and self-confidence brings happiness. If you're happy, you're going to make your kids happy, and everybody's going to be happy.
You could do it. You could do it in baby steps, or you could just take one big leap of faith.
Yeah, exactly. That's one way, like, little by little. It's not gonna become like a painter tomorrow, but it's like little by little. Like, say I'm gonna start taking art classes, and when I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna take an hour a week just for myself to take a new class. And again, props to Amaya for joining a choir and for the sculpting classes. That one, I have it here. Like, I feel that with all the arts and crafts and stuff that we do with our kids, that is something that's waking up inside of me. Like, I want to do art. I want to like do stuff like that.
Creative stuff.
Yeah, creative stuff. And let's see, I come from the acting background. I was also, they do plays close to my house. I'm like, maybe I'll join the theater. Who knows what this year is going to bring?
The word of advice here is don't be scared to do it.
Yeah.
Like, don't be scared to take that leap of faith. If you have something calling inside of you, because it's that little itch. I call it an itch. It's an itch that is with you wherever you go. And it's a 24-hour itch. Sometimes you forget about it because you're working, you're in the day-to-day mix of life. But inside, there's like something that is pulling at you saying, you got to do something. And I don't know, it could be something so simple as, I've never been religious. Let's just say, not me. I'm just saying in general. It could be that you've never been religious, and something into you is saying, you know what? Start going to church. Like, maybe you want to go to church. And you're like, no, I don't want to go to church because I used to tell everybody I'm an atheist. No. So you know what? You want to try it? Do you. And you don't have to explain that to anybody. Yeah.
It's, it's never too late to create a new life for you.
Yeah.
And with that said,
we're ending this, but we're oh, wait a second. Talk to them about very quickly, because we talked about reinvention, but we want to reinvent our podcast.
Yes. So for this second season, we want to bring like more guests to teach us. And we've been saying that. I feel bad because we've been saying it, but it's just, I have like so many questions in my mind as a mom, like, because Luna is growing so fast. So I'm like, I have questions, and I'm not going to Google them. I want to bring like an expert. I want to bring like child psychologists. I want to bring like
more guest speakers,
sex therapists, we got to spike it up. And so I'm so happy that we are back, and
and stay tuned for our reinvention of Mama's podcast, Mama's Playground podcast, because we're reinventing. Just changed the name. Little by little, we're reinventing.
All right, so guys. Oh, and by the way, there's gonna be something coming up, which is gonna be this video on the top moments of our first season.
Yeah,
and
coming soon.
Yes, coming soon. So thanks for tuning in. We are on Instagram, Mamas That Playground. We are on YouTube, and reach out to us. Oh my God, I really, when I open and I see messages like people that are listening and have stories to tell, like, that really brightens my day. So keep doing it.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.